Welcome to Sunday, once again at the Sideboard, Las Vegas, StarCityGames.com, Legacy Open. I'm here with Joe Lossett.
Hi.
You're known up and down the West Coast pretty well for these Legacy tournaments, I think. You've done pretty well with them.
Yeah, I had a couple good finishes last year, and yeah.
I know most of those finishes were with Cephalid Breakfast, which is
right.
an archetype you're really familiar with and played a lot. You're playing something very different from Cephalid Breakfast today.
Yeah, it's about the exact opposite, I think.
So you wound up playing Blue-White Miracles, and why'd you decide to go with that?
Well, Cephalids is really not viable anymore, I don't think, and so I was looking for something else, and I tried the Blue-White Squadron Hawk control deck for a couple tournaments, and I liked it, and then people were like, well, you should try Counterbalance also, because it's another way to go with the same deck, so I tried that, and I think this is better. The Hawks are a lot of card advantage, but the Counterbalance can actually win the game by itself, more or less, so I think this is better.
How have the counterbalances been today so far?
They're pretty good. I had a couple where it was just like top counterbalance, and then, that's almost the end of it. Although I haven't played against traditional decks where you'd think it would be, great. Like I played against Dredge, Tribelcher twice, and that's good if you can get set up, but sometimes you're just dead before you get around to it.
That's true. So you decided to play the full Miracle package. I know you have 3 Terminus in the main deck, and you've even got one in the sideboard.
I do, yeah.
A lot of people actually peg this one as a sleeper. I know on Facebook, Cedric actually and Rich Feldman were talking about this card before the set being big. Do you think it's going to make it in Legacy?
Terminus? Oh yeah, it's fantastic. It's so much like playing a blue-white control deck, you gotta have something that sweeps, and Wrath of God or
sure.
But this is just it's so cheap. It's 1 mana. And so you can beat against Daze and Spell Pierce. It's not too hard to resolve it anyway through that stuff. So yeah, I think and it beats cleans up everything. So I think it's a pretty strong card.
I think it's given these blue-white decks a lot of room against Nimble Mongoose they didn't have before.
Yeah,
that's how it feels to me. Like I was thinking you have to start playing Engineer Explosives, but if you can design your deck to maximize Terminus, you don't have to do that kind of stuff.
And I felt like we talked about putting explosives in here, but I feel like it's going to run into, sometimes you're going to want to blow it up on 2, and you really don't want to do that.
Yeah, you've got a bunch of sweet spells.
Yeah, it's messy, so just scrap it, don't even bother playing it. Terminus, it's good enough.
In addition to the basic 4 Brainstorms here, you also have a Portent. How has Portent worked out?
It's been okay. I've only played it twice. Both times the other person had to read it, and but it was actually nice. I played against a Charbelcher guy who looked at my hand with a probe and passed the turn. So clearly he doesn't have a kill.
Yeah.
And so I looked at his top 3, and so now I know which turn I'm going to need to have my mana up, and I can do whatever I want the rest of the time. And the other time I used it myself, so it was the same as a Ponder.
Sure.
But the option's nice.
Have you ever, I assume in testing, have you tried the card out that much?
Well, yeah, it's nice because you can miracle
on their turn without a top. Has that been a big deal?
Yeah, it definitely helps. I mean, if they're aware of what's going on, they're going to realize that that potentially could happen. But no, it's definitely useful, and I think it's better than Ponder in here.
Sure, I like that choice. I think it's. The difference is relatively negligible.
Right. Yeah.
So that's pretty useful. We've got, other than that, a pretty basic blue-white shell. You have run 1 Elspeth alongside 3 Jaces for win conditions.
Yeah, and that was also the 4th Jace in just not playing Elspeth was tempting. Okay. But I played 1, and it worked out okay today. It's been useful.
Sure. You got 1 Vendilion click. Yeah. Just 1, or did you consider more?
I would consider more, but it was basically came down to Snapcasters and Vendilion as extra spots for creatures, and Vendilion kind of won along with the Oblivion Ring because they cost 3. With the Hawk version it didn't matter, but with Counterbalance, the spread out mana curve matters, and it's kind of, I don't know how Counterbalance deck worked in the past because I didn't play it, but the fact that one of your big kill cards costs 3 with Entry of the Angels gives you more 3s, I think, than you don't have to work as hard to get 3 mana
so you can
flips.
Shut them down.
Yeah, right. So there's this stayed and this stayed because they're cost 3 more than because they're really good, although it's fine.
So of your win conditions, I guess we'll count Counterbalance as a win condition too. Which one's been winning the most games?
Well, I haven't really played against decks I have to beat. The Charbelcher guys, I guess Counterbalance is what beats them. But I did play against the game I won against Dredge. He took himself down to 3 with City of Brass and Tarnished Citadel.
Wow.
And so, we weren't all that far into the game, and he was at 3, so I entreated for 1 and killed him.
I know a little something about dying to a single angel token. So.
But just when you get Counterbalance lock set up, as you get later in the game, it doesn't really matter what you have.
Sure.
You know, Snapcaster and Ability like beat down the Reanimator guy you just finished off. But this is nice because it can do so much at once.
It's really overpowering.
Like the last time I played the deck against a Rug Delver guy, he was at 19 on like turn 9 because I haven't done anything to him.
Sure.
And then once the coast is clear and you're set up, this just killed him in one hit. And it just ends the game, and I'm not a particularly fast player, as you recognized. And so this helps just end the game.
Sure. That's one of the things I actually like in a lot of my control decks is if I can establish control of the game with something pretty harsh, I want something that'll close it out fast. I don't want to give them turns to keep out.
I mean, like Jace, Fate Sealing, it builds up, and but it takes some time, and this just ends it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your sideboard a little.
All right.
It's a relatively conventional blue-white sideboard. Graveyard Hate, Disenchant, still Terminus, a few more counters, but we have some cards that are pretty interesting. First, I'll ask you about the Humilities. How have these been handled?
They're I haven't had one in play yet today, but they're for the Sneak and Show and Reanimator.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, hard casting it fine, but against response to their Show and Tell, instead of having to counter it, use Let Resolve, drop this. Whatever they're dropping is not going to beat this, and then you're basically safe because they can't get rid of it either most of the time.
A lot of the time, yeah. Circa the Invitational, I know that card was getting pretty popular.
And
it can't be Angel Despaired or Tight Spout Tyrant.
Yeah, it can't be anything in their deck, and so it just seems pretty strong against those two decks.
We've also got Baneslayer Angels, which are pretty surprising.
So before the last time I played it, these two, the Counterspell and the Spell Snare, there was 2 blue Elemental Blasts. I'm sorry, these were 2 blue Elemental Blasts, and I felt like I wanted, with Goblins and Merfolk becoming more common, I wanted something for a creature deck and something for a control deck.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it was the Spell Snare and the Beans.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, anyway. And so I had 1 Timely Reinforcements, and then I was like 1 card for aggro decks. And I was like, I'm going to try Baneslayer Angel. And then this morning, I was looking at my sideboard, and looking at Baneslayer and Timely Reinforcements. Like, why am I playing Timely Reinforcements? This just seems better. So I put 2 of these in. And I like against Goblins and Merfolk or any deck with swords, they're not leaving their swords in. Even in something like the Mirror, I mean, they're not leaving their swords in.
Yeah.
And it's a big, and it's just, it seems really strong, although I haven't had it play yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, your matchups have just been all these combo decks or whatever, so that makes sense.
And the rest is like, graveyard stuff, and the rest is pretty normal.
Speaking of combo decks, up here, Chris Pakulas,
no, those are good against, against the Charbelcher guy, the second Charbelcher guy I played against. I got one in play, after the initial flurry got, disrupted. I got one in play named Empty the Warrens, because that's scarier. And then I can just, no matter how much rituals, mana, whatever he has, if I have a Force of Will, Charbelcher's not resolved.
Exactly.
So I have 2 forces, and then this on Empty the Warrens, they can't. That's it. I mean, it might take forever to finish the game, but he's not doing anything. Yeah. And so I like them a lot. And against like Storm or, any kind of thing where it's just going to sit there, and I don't think I bring it in against any deck that's interactive, really. But against the pure Storm stuff or combos, it seems pretty strong to me.
Makes sense. So you've played with the deck for 4 rounds now, right?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Are there any changes you make so far?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think the stuff that I'm trying out that's new to me is somewhat new to me is the Portent, and that seems good. The base ones haven't come up yet, so I don't really know. I still like them. Yeah. I still like the idea of it. But no, I think it's pretty solid the way it is.
Cool beans. So you're 4-1 in the tournament right now.
4-1, yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully you win a few more, and we'll see you in the top 8.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks for coming by. All right. We're gonna throw it back to Legacy right now.